should always do before attempting your aerial is stretch out your legs, hips, and ankles. Before learning an aerial, you should already be able to do a cartwheel, a one-handed cartwheel, and a cartwheel block, which is essentially just a cartwheel, except at the end you pop off of your shoulders to lift your hands off of the ground before you land the cartwheel. The next step is to practice jumping off the foot that you take off from, because this will help you gain enough strength to jump high into your aerial. I recommend repeating this on the other leg as well, just to keep both sides even. Next, do some backwards kicks, trying to kick your leg as high into the air as you can, because this is what you'll need to do to kick up into your aerial. If you can't kick your leg up into a full split like I'm showing, that's completely fine. Just practice kicking it back using a lot of power. Next, it's time to practice the hurdle into your aerial. To do the hurdle, start by stepping onto the leg that you kick back first in your cartwheel, while lifting the other leg and your arms up so that they are in line with your ears. And then when you step down into your aerial, kick the back leg up as fast and as high as you can and swing back your arms. Also make sure that when you first go into your aerial that you're looking straight in front of you and not directly down to the ground, because this will make you go higher in your aerial and also be less likely to touch your hands down to the ground. And the final thing to remember in your hurdle is to make sure that you're leaning your chest forward to let your back leg kick higher into the air, as this is what will be flipping you over. In my previous aerial tutorial, I showed starting the hurdle with that leg bent, but if you keep it straight, you'll actually have more power going into your aerial. Now add a jump to the beginning and end of your hurdle. Once you can do the hurdle, instead of just going into a backwards kick, practice kicking up into your cartwheel, then a cartwheel block, and after that a one-handed cartwheel. And then once you've done it with one hand, it's time to attempt the aerial, but if you're still touching down, here are a few tips that can help. When you go into your aerial, this is what your foot placement should look like. So your feet should be apart and directly underneath you, as again this will help with height compared if they were behind or in front of you, and your back foot should be slightly turned out since this is a sideways skill. The first thing you should try if you're still touching down is holding something in your hands, because this will make it less likely for you to touch down since there's something clenched in your hand. If you're still touching down while holding onto something, another tip is to change your arm placement. Even though one way to place your arms in an aerial is in towards your chest, this will make it a lot easier to touch the ground as your hands are closer to the ground, so if you bring them straight out to the side, you'll be less likely to touch the ground.